Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this report of the FarmCon 23 in Lauingen at the Deutz Fahr Arena. So Deutz Fahr is a German tractor manufacturer with a very, very big factory, and Lauingen is a cozy little town in the south of Germany, rather far away from big cities, so really countryside space. And we have been invited there from Giants and the Deutz Fahr team to celebrate our FarmCon, and there have been 1,300 people, players of Farm Sim and YouTubers, modders, Twitch streamers, and all of the people that work at Giants, and it was awesome. It was just so awesome. You can count the time that I say awesome in this video, because I guess I will say it very often. I'm still so delighted and so in a happy space of this FarmCon still. And yeah, I could say awesome every 2 seconds. So this is me at when the FarmCon was happening, in front of a wonderful tractor, the biggest one, and 9 from the, how do you say it? We say it niner, but I think it, so with 9,000 so and so forth, the biggest line. It's rather similar to the numbers from John Deere, for example, where you have the sixer. No, I don't think you would say it like this. This is more the bread and butter tractor, and then 7 is a little bit bigger, and 8 is already really awesome, and the 9 is, wow, what a big tractor. And this is the 9 from Deutz Fahr. And by the way, this is me standing in front of the tractor and behaving as if this tractor would be my tractor. Yeah, you can dream. So I came already on Thursday, and this is my hotel room. It was a rather small hotel room, but very fine. Everything was there what you need, and I was quite happy there. It was close to the train station and close to the Deutz Fahr Arena, and that was the main advantage. And yeah, why did I came already on Thursday? It was because I heard DJ Goham and Farmer Cop would be there already on Thursday too. And when I booked my hotel and my train, I thought I could help with building up all the stuff in the things in the Deutz Fahr Arena to prepare for the FarmCon. But then later they said, oh no, all you YouTubers, you are not allowed to come inside before the actual FarmCon happens because of insurance stuff and so on and so forth. And therefore I could only have a look from outside. But I went there and had this look. This is part of the factory where the engines are produced. And yeah, on Saturday we had a tour through this building, and we were shown how the engines are produced, and then when the engine and the outside of the tractor, when they marry, and in the end you have the whole tractor. That was very interesting. I'll show you later. And here is the museum on the other side of the road. And yeah, when the FarmCon was open, I went inside and made some videos about this. Very interesting old tractors. And this is the Deutz Fahr Arena itself. And there inside the Giants people were preparing. And I had a look and I met one Giants guy here and had a little talk. And then I went back to my hotel. Oh, and here we have 2 truck trailers, obviously with farming simulator, where they bring all their stuff. And later in the day I met 2 German Twitch streamers, and one of them lives rather close by, and therefore she was already there. And yeah, we had a nice dinner at the beer garden and a nice talk. It was wonderful. And then it was the next day, and the first person I met was Birgit. And Birgit is my main moderator in my Twitch streams, and she is always there on my Discord, and in my Twitch streams she is called Farmerin29. And as you can see, she's a granny like me, and I think we fit perfectly together. And it was so nice meeting her in person, because before I hadn't known her. I only knew her from chatting and writing. And now I know her. Yeah, and here, I guess you know them. Yeah, Virtual Farmer was in the same hotel than we were. The other English-speaking YouTubers were at a different hotel, farther away from the Deutz Fahr Arena and from the train station. But Virtual Farmer was with us, and I was really happy. And I was so happy finally meeting him, because last time he wanted to come to Lauingen and then he got COVID and couldn't come. And everybody was so sad that he couldn't come. And here he is, and we had a good time. And the other guy is Jos, a very important modder, who especially made some important mods for consoles. The liftable pellets mod, for example. I already met him last year at FarmCon in Mannheim. Oh, and he is a Dutch guy, but he was with the English-speaking guys, obviously. And then in our hotel was Valencia. She is a German Twitch streamer of FarmSim. And it was very nice meeting her as well. And later, in the early evening, I would say, I went with all the English-speaking guys through the town to have some food. And in the middle of the town, they were preparing for a big town party, a big celebration. And that had nothing to do with FarmCon, but was their own town celebration. But they had 2 Deutz Fahr tractors presented there on the middle of the road, just standing there to be nice and beautiful. And that shows you that this little town is all about Deutz Fahr. So this is the most important enterprise there. And yeah, it was nice to see this wonderful tractor so close. And first we finally met DJ Goham and Farmer Cop at their hotel, and before we met Mr. Silly P and his wife, and we went together here and then to the hotel of DJ Goham, Farmer Cop, and Mrs. Silly P. And then we wanted to go to a restaurant that has been recommended by the hotel personnel, and they sent all the guys to the best restaurant in town. yeah, and it was a really best restaurant in town. They didn't have just nice food, but they had special gourmet food, and the prices were accordingly. And we got the menu, and having a look at the menu, everybody was shocked a little bit, and after a while they told me, "Hey, Oma Tanya, could you tell them that we don't want to eat here, that we go somewhere else?" Because I was the only one who could speak German. And then I went inside and told them, okay, yeah, we got this recommendation, but my English-speaking friends, they weren't prepared for this high-class, noble, cuisine, and therefore we won't eat here. And it was okay. And yeah, then I told the guys, the YouTubers, oh, I know a really nice restaurant. It's outside with a view to the Donau, which is a big river. The river there, the Danube is maybe, I don't know exactly the English name of. The German name is Donau. This is the river that is, yeah, very important in this area, and that goes up to the Black Sea, very, very long. And yeah, a beer garden, and where you can eat rather cheap and tasty. And then we went there, and everybody was very, very happy there. We had big beers, like 1 liter. Not everybody. I only had half a liter, but it was a great experience for a lot of those guys to have those really big beer mugs, and they were really like, wow, this is so big. And we had a schnitzel with French fries, so a steak, so to say. And yeah, everybody enjoyed it a lot. And we were laughing and laughing and laughing, and we nearly couldn't stop. But in the end, the owner of this restaurant wanted to go to bed, and then they sent us home. And it is so fantastic with those guys, and they are so funny, and they have so wonderful hearts. It's a little bit hard for me to say in English words to describe this, but it is so, yeah, I love them all. It's so fantastic, and they are so open and all together. Sometimes you could think they are all YouTubers, not all of them, but most of them, and so there would be some competition, but there isn't. Everybody wishes everybody else a lot of success, and it feels like everybody works together, and they are so open to everybody else, and to me as well. I feel so much integrated in this group and so welcomed. And yeah, last year I already, oh, this is funny. The guys at the left side were the guys that I already met at Mannheim and in the last year's FarmCon. And we already had so much fun. And the right side guys are those who I met only this year, but with everybody it was so as if we would know each other for 10 or 20 years and have always been best friends. It's fantastic. So I guess you know most of them, because you are obviously English-speaking video viewers. And my German audience, they don't know them. And I think they miss a lot of fun, because the videos of those guys are very, very awesome. But okay, it's the loss of the German players who don't watch English videos, but I do, and therefore I know those guys. Here, so let's start. This is Farmer Cop, and he started in 2020, so a very young channel with the No Man's Land, and that's why I found him very early, because I was playing on No Man's Land on my German channel at the same time, and he only had about 100 subscribers, and I was one of his first 100 subscribers, and I liked the way he did it, and it was just enjoyable to watch his videos. And I think a lot of other people thought this too, because now he already has 100,000 subscribers plus. Yeah, one of the very fast growing channel. And the next one is the one and only DJ Gohem, who makes farm sim news videos and mod videos every day, or let's say every time mods come out at ModHub. Every mod that is in ModHub will be reviewed by him in a video of all the mods of the day. And then he makes his famous farm sim show nearly every week with clutch simulations, and it's such a funny meeting point of the English-speaking farm sim community. Yeah, it's just awesome. And here we have Jos again. I think, yeah, before I told you already about Jos, the modder with the liftable pallets. And he started making a website about the stuff that DJ Gohem is talking about. So those two work rather close together now. Even if the one of them, the Jos, is sitting in the Netherlands and DJ Gohem in America. And here, this is the brother of Virtual Farmer. He is streaming too, but I haven't watched him streaming. Usually I don't have much time to watch streams, so I'm more into YouTube videos. But he is a streamer too. And this is Virtual Farmer. And here we have Mr. CLP. Finally, we will get some more images of Mr. CLP. And this is Mrs. CLP. And she is so lovely. Yeah, we had a so nice connection from the first second. And we were waiting for them when we were at the beer garden at my hotel. And yeah, then we wanted to go to the hotel of DJ Gohem, and then when we came out of the beer garden, I saw them standing there, and I recognized him at once, and I cried, "Oh, Mr. CLP, welcome, welcome!" And yeah, and it was as if we would know each other for decades. And here, this is the same, but only with, yeah, no more Mrs. CLP, but a little bit more of FarmCon. There were other guys too from Netherlands and Denmark, but yeah, they are not on this image. Okay, we already have 18 minutes, and the FarmCon has not yet started. But okay, I am a long talker. So now let's go to the main day of the FarmCon. Yeah, this was at about 9 a.m. on the first FarmCon day. Everybody was waiting to be let inside, and this queue was much longer, much longer, and it grew and grew and grew. And because there were so many people coming, the program started half an hour later, because it took just too long time to get all the people checked in. And I was very happy, because I'm a YouTuber. I was allowed to go by the side and enter earlier. But then we already had a wonderful first happening, and tractor driving for the YouTubers, because I think they wanted us to be able to listen to all the presentations, and so they thought, okay, we allow the YouTubers to have their tractor ride before the FarmCon even starts. And here I have some small videos about this. There, Mr. Silly P, virtual farmer, Mrs. Silly P, and some German YouTubers. Aber ich finde das super, dass sie dich auch mit hier reinlassen. Das ist doch toll. Aber es sind ja auch andere. Mrs. Silly P ist dabei und die Frau vom Homer ist dabei. Ja. DJ Goheim. Yeah, and then I was driving the tractor. Here I only have a very small snippet about this because I made a dedicated video about the tractor driving already. And this was so wonderful. Yeah, I would love to have my own tractor. I really do. And this Deutz tractor was wow, just wonderful. So now I'm a totally Deutz Fahr fan. And yeah, that was intended by the Deutz Fahr team, that they give us the chance to drive their tractors, and then we become totally fans of their tractors. And for me it worked. And then the FarmCon finally started with the first greetings, and I was sitting in the back here, and I have some seconds about the greeting. It's just the greeting, so it's in German, and therefore I tell you what you can expect. Some German words that say welcome to the FarmCon, and who of you has played the game for more than 3 years?
So alt ist noch nicht. Das war die letzten Jahre. Dann fangen wir mal an. Herzlich willkommen zur FarmCon 23 nochmal. Das war die ultimativen Fan der Landwirtschaftsfans. Ich gehe jetzt nicht mal davon aus, dass einige von euch Fans sind, sonst wäre ihr eigentlich hier. Aber wir machen mal wieder das obligatorischen Frühsport, wo ihr auch mal was bewegen könnt. Wir morgens nochmal. Und wirklich mal, das interessiert mich mal, wer von euch spielt den Landwirtschaftssimulator schon seit mehr als 3 Jahren? Okay, ich glaube, man kann euch Fans sein. Lasst die Hände mal hoch, lasst sie mal hoch.
Yo, and then he asked who is playing longer than 5 years and 10 years and so on and so forth. And yeah, then we had a little break and I took the chance to go to the museum. And here we will see some of the older tractors. This is not so old, but they get older and older. And here we already have one of those, yeah, at least young timers, if not, oh, I think you don't call them old timers. We have some German words that sounds English, but that are no English words. I think you would say something like vintage tractors or so. And here it gets really vintage. Very, very old tractors. Yeah, and we were not allowed to ride them or even touch them, but we were allowed to film them and to go along. Yeah, and I find this very interesting to see those very old tractors. And here they grow a little bit more modern, but still very, very old-fashioned. And this kind of tractor was the normal kind of tractor in my youth. So not all the tractors looked like that. When I was a kid, there were already tractors with a cabin, but this kind of tractor like this was quite normal. So, because the farmers, they don't throw away their tractor after 1 year, they keep it for several years. And I guess this tractor was manufactured before I was born. I don't know really, but I think it is older than me. But they were still used, and yeah, and therefore this look is for me something like a normal view of a tractor of my childhood. And you see how old I'm already. Yeah, and then we had presentation about 15 years of Farming Simulator, and the two leaders of Giants and founders told us about this. And here in the back behind the screen you see Christian Ammann, who is the CEO, so the main manager of Giants, and who is standing here is Stefan Geiger, and he is the CTO, so the technical boss, and he's working on the engine, and both are Swiss guys. And this Stefan Geiger, he knows so much of this computer stuff, of this technical stuff, and he is really, a brain. And sometimes you can see him in the Giants forum, and then he writes very profound things that are very important for all the modders. And we will have a look at him a little bit later too. And they now, first they talked about the games, and he talked more about the development of the modding during the years, which was very interesting. And then in the end, he said something about the future. He said we want to develop even further, and we want to make the worlds more alive, so more life in the maps. And there he hasn't talked about details, but I think it's that the pedestrians are not only walking like zombies, but maybe they can do other things as well. And there will be storylines. That's exactly my biggest wish for future farm sims, and they will be fulfilled. I'm so excited about this, and I'm expecting that we won't get fully fleshed, perfect storyline functions already in the next game, but maybe they start with a little bit, and then it will develop over time. So I don't expect to get a perfect storyline features and perfect life in the maps, but they are starting to work on it, and therefore I'm so glad. And there were some other things they want to do in the future, but I was so excited about the more life in the maps and the storylines that I totally forgot the other things. And now let's just listen to this Stefan Geiger for less than a minute. You won't understand anything, but you can hear his voice.
Ein kurzes Video dazu, wissen, was für verschiedene Mods es gibt. Ich denke, für viele von euch sind so die Kategorie realistische Mods interessant, wo es sehr viele gibt mit neuen Marken oder sonst Fahrzeuge, die wir nicht umgesetzt haben. Wir haben auch sehr viele neue Maps von Nachbauten, von realen Orten bis zu komplett neuen Erfindungen. Und dann haben wir auch quasi die Kategorie.
Yeah, that was about an older version of the farm sim and the modding possibilities. And then the next presentation was with Boris, and Boris is the head of the publishing, and he's so funny and alive. It's just a joy to look and listen to him. And later we get some images about what he showed us. He made a presentation about upcoming projects.
Ich bin hier oben. Das ist eigentlich falsch, weil es liegt nur an euch, dass der Farming Simulator heute dort ist, wo er eigentlich ist. An euch Fans, treuen Fans, an den Moddern und so weiter. Ich kann euch aber nicht alle hier auf die Bühne drauf holen. Deswegen wollen wir das Ganze mal stellvertretend machen. Und zwar mit einem ganz besonderen Menschen.
Jo, and here we see the trailer video about the upcoming horse aggravation pack, and I already made video on my channel about this trailer, and later I will make more videos about this pack, this upcoming pack. And here in this occasion it was first announced. Yeah, and this horse pack will about machines from the manufacturer Horsch, and they are specialized in no-tilling or low-till, or how you call it, machines that are good to keep the soil in a good shape. Yeah, I think this would be... I try to find out how to say this best in English, because this is very important for Horsch, that they developed the direct cell stuff, direct sowing or seeding stuff. And now a lot of manufacturers have this, but I think they were the first who had the idea to not go and plow everything, but to make direct seed. And here photo of this, and then he announced the emergency pack, upcoming free mod that will be made by Creative Mesh, and the modding group that already made pumps and hoses last year, but this will be free, and it's already available in ModHub as a beta version, only for PCs now. Later, when it will be released, it will come out for all platforms. And this is something that is mainly more for younger players, but I'm sure that some older players will like this too. But I know there is a player group, a rather big player group, who always wanted to have some emergency stuff and fire brigade stuff and so forth in the farm sim. And I think it's a nice idea, because we have this maps with landscape and villages and so on, and when people want to have to play fire brigade there, we already have the landscape and everything that is needed, but it was missing the infrastructure. There were some fire brigade mods already, but the gameplay was missing, and they put the gameplay into the game for everybody who wants to have this in the game. And I know not everybody wants it. A lot of people say, oh, what do we need this fire brigade emergency stuff in our farm sim? We want to work on our fields. But I think, why not make a huge player group happy? Yeah, and it's for free, and I find this is a wonderful idea. I will check this out as a beta version in a few days, So I try to work myself through all the farm sim related stuff and all the announcement slowly by slowly. It takes some time. And then when it will come out as a full release, I will make, I think, several videos about this. And even if I myself, I'm not so much in this emergency topic, I'm more like relaxed farming, but I can appreciate it a lot, and I find it a very good idea to make all those players happy who want to have this emergency stuff in the game. And some of this is farming related, because when the bales are burning, which happens rather often, and I also heard a lot about combines that burn, and that must be terrible for the farmers. Imagine you pay $500,000 for your combine, and then it is burning, and you lose all your money, and you lose your combine in the middle of the harvest. This must be devastating, and therefore I think an emergency team is very useful. So it is in part farming related. Yeah, and I really curious about this. So, and then they announced a new Deutz Fahr tractor, a middle-sized, smaller one that comes with in ModHub for free as a dedicated FarmCon event present from Giants and Deutz Fahr for everybody in ModHub. Okay, and after this there was a little break, and later I wanted to see the presentation about the map and so on and so forth, but then I met Vectorman. And here, this is only a placeholder image, and you see Vectorman only from behind. And that is because I totally forgot to take an image of him. And best would have been an image of him with me together, like I took with other people. And Vectorman is a young modder and YouTuber, and he makes the most amazing vehicle mods. So just the opposite of that what I'm modding, but even if I don't do the same kind of mods, I can appreciate it a lot what he's doing. He's the creator of the Road Rage mod, for example. And I think a lot of you guys are playing with the Road Rage, at least from time to time, already since FS19, and he is making all those vehicles from the get-go. So he doesn't take Giants models, but he builds up in those vehicles in Blender, and it takes months to build such a vehicle, and with all the functions. His latest project is something with the foresting, and on his YouTube channels he shows his mods, but also real-life farming, and he is very good at making cinematic videos. He has won the first prize of the Alpine Map video contest, and this is really awesome. So you should visit his channel. I'll provide a link in the description below to his channel, and there you can see him from the front. You can see his face, and you can see what I was doing with him in the time between all the presentations and during some presentations that we missed, because already before the FarmCon we talked to each other and said decided we want to film each other when driving with a tractor. And he arrived too late for this YouTuber tractor driving thing. But then he was there and he wanted to drive tractor. He wanted to make bale stacking. And I was very happy to go with him and to wait in the line until he could make the bale stacking and I could film him. And we had such a nice talk. And it's not so easy when you are a modder and a totally nerd to find people to whom you can talk about all this stuff. There are some people, but yeah, there are a lot of modders at the FarmCon. But to talk to him about all this modding related stuff and about having a YouTube channel and so is so nice and relaxing, and I enjoyed it a lot. And it was in the middle of this line, which took long until we finally reached the tractors. But it was like a little island of happy talking in the middle of this waiting line. Yeah, and therefore I missed the map presentation, and I hope a lot that we'll get videos about this as soon as possible with the official presentation from the FarmCon. And then after this, it was nearly 4 o'clock and it was time for us YouTubers to go to the factory tour. And as you can see, I got a place in the same little vehicle with Mr. Silly P and the brother of Virtual Farmer, and there in the other vehicle you see a little image of Lizartan and the back of Denise, a German streamer, and we were driven with this little train-like vehicles pulled by a tractor to the other side of the road where is the real factory. And those factory tours were running all day for everybody, so everybody could go there. But only on this occasion, the last tour of the day was for YouTubers, and we were allowed to film a little bit inside. We weren't allowed to film the whole tour and all the stations because of security and secrecy reasons and so. But in the end, we were allowed to film the finished tractors. Here, Virtual Farmer was there as well. And then we drove. This is along the farm sim area. And Mr. Silly P is filming too. And there were all the tractors that we can watch all day. And yeah, there were all the other YouTubers. Oh, and I just see he has a very nice, cute microphone there. And they had very interesting gears for filming. And there is this factory building where we went to. And then, yeah, this was already the end of the tour, and it was really interesting. And yeah, I was in the German group because it was divided in a German tour and an English tour, and as I understand German even better than English, I chose to go with the Germans. And yeah, they told us everything about how it's organized, and we went through from the beginning of the building of the engine till the end, till the finished tractor. and they showed us how they had organized those huge shelves and so with all the stuff, and they told us a lot about all this organizational stuff. And this was not a factory with a lot of robots, not at all. I think I haven't seen any robot. The only thing that was more or less automated was the painting of the tractor, but everything else was manufactured by people. And they had in the center, the tractors were slowly moving from one area to the other. They told us about this. Nobody was there working while we were inside, but they told us and showed it to us. And at every place there were shelves with boxes with all the materials and screws and stuff that were built in every station. And they don't produce always the same tractors, but every tractor that is built has been already ordered with certain features. So maybe the first tractor is number 6 and in green and I don't know, with certain kind of gear and certain motor, and the next tractor already is a number 8 with in black and with other features. So every tractor that they go is configured in a different way. And yeah, when the tractor is finished, it already has an owner who has ordered it and will be delivered to him. And every step of the building process is they have working groups with up to 8 people, and they have 18 minutes to fulfill their step, and they take all the screws and stuff that they need for this step. And so in different stages they build up the engine. We have been mainly in the area where they built the engine. And then when the engine is finished and painted, then the other thing, the body of the tractor comes along from the other building. So they have several factory buildings, and the body is produced at the different building. And it comes, and then the engine and the body, they marry, so to say, and then it's a tractor already. And then they keep on working and working and working, and finally we are here. And then we were allowed to take photos and make videos. And in the whole area we weren't allowed. And for me, I was surprised that most of this stuff is built by people and there are no robots. And the woman who told us all the stuff was asked, why are there no robots? And she said, because there are not so many tractors produced. They have, I think, 28 tractors every day, which is a lot, but it's not enough to build special robots for this. So it's somehow cheaper and better to let the people work this, and especially if every tractor is a little bit different to the next one. And yeah, therefore they let the tractor be built by people. And in these groups, they are very working together, very good. And Deutz Fahr is very interested in happy groups of working people, and they have a good work-life balance. They take care that the people are not too exhausted, and that they are happy with their work, because they know when the people are happy with their work, they work better, there are less mistakes, the people stay longer in years, so they don't quit their job so easy, and therefore they take care of a good working environment for the people. Yeah, and I liked what I saw there and heard there. And yeah, here, this is the image, the placeholder image with vector men. And here I have a very tiny video, but it shows the same tractor, just some people moving. And most of them are YouTubers or friends or family of the YouTubers. So, or streamers. The YouTubers were allowed to bring their team with them. And here we've been in a different hall. This is the place where the finished tractors get checked. Every tractor has a deep check, and only when he passes this test, then he will be delivered to the client. And here we see this testing station and a short video about this. And this red hair woman, she showed us the whole factory, and the English guys had a different woman. And that was the end of the first FarmCon day. Yeah, and then you maybe would think, okay, what was the evening party? Yes, there was a party, and other people, they went to fancy restaurants and had a lot of fun in the evening. And usually I'm a totally evening party girl, not more evening working. I always work late in the evening at night. So I'm not someone who goes to bed early, but I was so exhausted. So I went with Birgit, my moderator. We went to the hotel and we were so tired and exhausted. We got a nice dinner there, and then each of us went to their rooms early at 9 p.m. and when everybody else was still partying. But that was good, because I was refreshed in the next morning. And here, this is already the second day and the last day of the FarmCon. And isn't it a wonderful tractor? And then we made I own this huge combine image in front of this wonderful combine. And yeah, I don't own it, but for a minute I could pretend. And then there were very important presentations for me on the second day. Most of the people, of the visitors, were not so much interested in the program of the second day. Only the modders are very interested, and people who like the FSL. And I'm not so much into FSL, but as I'm a modder, I was very, very keen on those presentations. And Manuel Leitner, who is the head of the office in Erlangen in Germany and a lead gameplay programmer, and he is very, very good at it. He hold 3 of the 4 presentations of this day, and it was in a small dark cinema, and it was a little bit crowded there. And the first presentation was about the workflow of a new pack or a new game. so how Giants makes a new game or a new pack, and how they have the pre-production and they think about what should come into the new game or pack, and in the end until it's finished and released. And I enjoyed it a lot and found it very, very interesting. But then I got a coughing fit, and sometimes I get this, and then I know I can't stop staying in such a room. So, those coughing fits from me are not from a cough, but from having to be silent in a close surroundings somehow, crowded together with other people. And then, I have to leave. And therefore I left. But for me it was interesting because I met a guy to whom I talked for the rest of this presentation, but outside, and it was very, very interesting. And anyhow, I loved it a lot to talk to a lot of people. So obviously there were more German players there, and international players were more or less YouTubers. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it a lot to meet the community and to talk to people who watch my videos, who use my mods or have learned from my tutorials. And this was so heartwarming. And this was one of the main reasons why I like the FarmCon so much. Because you can finally meet people who you only know through words in the comment section, and now you can finally see them and talk to them. And so it was not all bad that I missed this presentation. And then was the presentation from Creative Mesh about the emergency pack, and I was really interested in this, and I was not the only one. A lot of people were interested, and this small cinema was totally crowded, and every minute more people were coming inside. And therefore after a few minutes I thought, okay, one more people coming inside and I'll get a panic attack, so I leave at once. And therefore I left this very interesting presentation, and it's with a lot of presentations. I hope they will come as a video. But that was very good again, because when I was outside, Mr. CLP found me. And I think you all know Mr. CLP. I don't need to tell you that he is an absolutely legend for the farm sim community. And he already made farm sim videos for such a long time. And he has such a friendly soul and so warm, and it's so enjoyable to watch his videos. And when I started with Farm Sim in FS17, he was one of the first creators whose videos I watched and enjoyed a lot. Yeah, and he came to me and said, oh, do you want to have a little talk with me? And no big interview, just a little talk. And I said, yes, I like. And yeah, we had a wonderful talk, and his wife was filming it. And this talk is already released by him on his channel. And yeah, I made a community post where I linked to this video. Yeah, and I feel totally blissful about this, and I feel so much honored that he chose me to have a talk and that he likes my mods so much. He told me he uses a lot of my mods, and yeah, and look at him. Isn't he friendly? He is gorgeous. Yeah, and then it was time for the last presentation or the last two presentations. And it was okay because there were only modders inside, it was not so crowded, and I didn't got a coughing fit, and I could listen to everything. First was about Lua scripting, very interesting for me. And the best is, this Manuel Leitner guy is writing a book, and it will be released sooner or later this year about Lua scripting. And the other guy at the left side, Stefan Maurus, a gameplay developer, he writes a book about modding in Blender. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. We are missing quite a lot of documentation for modding, so that makes modding a little bit hard because there's not much documentation. And then we get 2 books. Wonderful. And the last presentation was not so much a presentation, it was a modding Q&A. And this is maybe my most important part of the FarmCon, but maybe not, because there are other parts of it that are so important too. But the modding Q&A is very, very, very important for me. And I prepared some questions already. And yeah, I could ask my questions and I got good answers. Oh, and here maybe, yeah, I already told you about Manuel Leitner, who is the Erlangen boss and head of game development, and he is very high-ranking gameplay developer too, Stefan Maurus. And this is again Stefan Geiger from Switzerland, who is working on the engine and who is a founder of Giants, and they are all full of pure competence. And this is so fantastic that you have the possibility as a modder to sit there together with those guys and to ask your questions, and then they will think about it and then they answer it. And yeah, it's not just a short 2-word answer, but they thought through answer about the question, and I'm really thankful about this. And that last year it was the same. I enjoyed it a lot and I learned so much through this. And already last year it gave me a push to become a better modder, because I learned more and so I could accomplish better mods. And now I got another push up, so to say, or a power up. I think power up is a cool word for this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the mods that I will build in the future. And then the official program was done, and most of the English-speaking creators gathered together for an image, and I took my chance and took an image as well. And here we have some people whom I didn't spoke about. This is Martin Rabel, another very important guy of the Giant software, and this is the one and only Kermit, and I don't have an image with me and Kermit, and I like him so much. This is the English-speaking community coordinator of Farming Simulator, and he works in America, and he flew over to Germany to share the FarmCon with us. And yeah, I already met him last year, and he is awesome. I think for me he is the best guy of Giants. I'm missing a word. So I would give him the prize of the best worker at Giants of the month, so to say, every month. Maybe there are other good guys too. There are, but I like it how Kermit does his work. yeah, and even if I'm not, okay, I'm partly English speaking, so I feel recognized as an English speaking creator because I have my English channel, and they see me mainly as a modder in the English speaking world. And yeah, even if my English speaking part is more my second part, and I'm native German speaker, I feel more connected to the English speaking community team. But that's okay, why not? Yeah, and that is because I have such a good connection to Kermit. And later, in the end, we met again at the beer garden of my hotel, and then I finally found some time to have a talk to Kermit, and it was just wonderful. And to his new, no, it's not his new colleague, it's the co-worker. They already worked together the whole time. And this other guy, Niklas, he started working for Giants already before Kermit, but it was the first time I saw him on a FarmCon. So Kermit works together with a guy named Niklas, and we had a wonderful talk as well, but I don't have an image of him. Yeah, here we have FarmSim guy. Did I say anything about FarmSim guy yet? No, because he was too late for the beer garden evening. He came, but only in the last quarter of an hour before they threw us out. And I met FarmSim guy already last year. He's an English YouTuber who lives in Scotland, and he makes awesome videos. Another one of those fast-growing YouTubers, and for a reason, because it's wonderful what he does. Then we have Mr. Silly P, Farmer Cop. This is Arxie, and I think he's from New Zealand. And for me, Arxie was new, so I don't know him very well, but maybe next year I get the chance to know him better. The brother of Virtual Farmer, and this is the caster, and I don't know the full name, but he is a caster of the FSL, a very important one. And here DJ Goham and Jos. And then I took the time to get some photos with several of my my dearest English-speaking YouTubers, Farmer Cop, FarmSim Guy, DJ Goham, and Virtual Farmer, and all in front of those wonderful tractors. And this is my girl Birgit again, my moderator, and we spent a lot of time together, and it was wonderful to meet her in person. And then it was time to say goodbye to the Deutz Fahr Arena. They already took all the tractors away. And yeah, but afterwards we still had some hours time before my train left and before Kermit's train left, and some of the guys were staying there still till the next day. And therefore we had some time in the beer garden of my hotel, and then I talked to Kermit. Oh, it was wonderful. It was so wonderful. If you ever get the chance to come to Germany for such a FarmCon, I would definitely recommend it, because yeah, it's awesome to meet all these FarmSim people, and yeah, more or less everybody is like-minded. We have the same main interest in FarmSim, and Yeah, so that makes it easy to become friends to each other. Yeah. Oh, and now I already talked more than 1 hour. This is typical for me. But we finally reached the end of the FarmCon. For me, it's still so much alive in my heart, and yeah, I'm still thinking about the FarmCon a lot. And in the next days, I want to make more videos about the upcoming packs, the announcements that we got, and so forth. But it will take some time because I still need to recover from all these exciting adventures. Okay. Yeah, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.